Hi guys, I'm Claude from Fauna Marin and we stay now again in our coral farm. Today we have the idea to talk about one of the most questions what we have in our support groups, in our support emails. And the question is, what a coral dip I should use when I have corals. We have private customers, we have institutions, we have professional aquarists, so the question is not easy to say use that product or use that other one. In the last few weeks we developed a new product and we bring it out to the market. The name of this is Cili Dip. Till now we had another one which calls the Dip. The most people know it now because one of the best sold dips in Europe. Why we use two? The first point is every time when you purchase a coral from a coral farm, from imports, wherever it comes, you should take care that the coral don't have any parasites. So you should dip and inspect the corals all the time. As best you have a quarantine station for 4 to 6 and 8 weeks. The usual way, and the people who ask this now, starting to dip the corals more often as one times. As soon as they find something, they dip it. And again and again and again. I must say today, don't do that. If you have a dip which based on oils and aggressive chemicals, you destroy also the microbiome of the coral, and the coral cannot get in good shape, in good condition to fight herself against the pests. Every time you do that, you will destroy the coral more. And make it more easy for parasites which survive the first dip or the second one, and this happens, and they go stronger and stronger, and at the end you kill the corals and the parasites are still there. If you have corals in your reef tank and you dip them several times, it will be a magnet for parasites later down. Yes, you can remove some of the parasites, since it's worms, since gammarids, aquapora eating gammarids a sample, or spiders or whatever. There are more than enough of them available nowadays. The problem of the dips is, and we talk now about the standard dip, is that they usually don't work against bacteria very proper and also not against ciliates. A new problem which we have coming mostly from aquapora or from euphyllias due to imports from the different countries in the world. But we stay now at a standard dip. Standard dips with oils have the big problem that they work quite good against worms, but they have a problem if they have to work against different type of cops, gammarids, isopods, whatever. The problem is that this type of parasites can handle toxic chemicals very good. They are mostly only paralyzed and they wake up 15, 20, 30 minutes later in the reef tank then. That's also the reason why if you work against black bugs or white bugs, that you have the feeling after a few weeks that they come back and once again. So that's why we need then in-tank treatment, which is difficult to get. And for us in Europe, it's impossible because we always need a vet who can give us these chemicals. It's not to buy like sometimes you have in the States. Also one thing which I find it's impossible to do is if you work with bio dips or with these neurotoxins, insecticides, what is also common. You must really understand that if you use such a dip, you transport parts of this dip back into your reef tank, and immediately later all this will go out with aerosols through your skimmers, and you toxify your living room and your rooms and your kids and all the others with these harmful substances. And this type of insecticide, which is sold in America, it's banned in Europe due to the difficult chemicals which are inside. These are dangerous goods. I can fully understand that this type of product is really strong and it kills nearby every parasite. Perfect product. But it's so toxic and it's so difficult because you bring that stuff in your rooms, and this cannot be a good idea. So for this we use standard dips or specified dips to protect not only the corals, it should also protect us because they are not toxic and they are not difficult only if you use them too often. So if you have some oils like neem oil, citron oil, something like that, also that you bring back to your reef tank, and it harms the bacteria and it harms the biology of your reef tank, which creates a better environmental for the parasites but not for the corals. If you get corals from the farms, dip it one time, do it in quarantine, check it, and earliest 4 weeks later dip it the next time. You can remove these parasites also manually. You can spray them off, you can take them off with a toothbrush, whatever. If you have the parasites in your tank, then search one victim coral. For acropora flatworms, the best way would be a tricolor acropora or millipora acropora. Put them in the reef tank and dip them every time. As more you dip them, as more attractive they are for the worms. So this is like victim, like yellow paper in the gardenery. You can use that victim coral then to get all the acropora flatworms out of your reef tank. All others, don't do that. Do it once, check later, and latest 4 weeks, again, the dipping. If you have standard dips with oils, something like that. Our dip is mainly made for pots. It works against worms, okay, but not that strong. It's more made for all the pots, for the acropora eating gammarids, for the hidden parasites, which creates a lot of problem in SPS corals or also in others. The other one, against the bacteria, against the ciliates, for oiphilia, but also against worms, oiphilia worms, triphilia worms, we have the Cili Dip. And it's perfect for huge farms, because one time of dipping is only 30 seconds to 60 seconds, and it works fantastic and fast, and it blows off all the parasites up. But also there, do it once, maybe second time, but not all the time. You can use both, but not at the same time, because one part of the dip is also included in that. It's a combination. It's a plus on the standard dip. Here we have more working against bacteria, ciliates, and worms. There we have more working against corpse spiders and snails. If you combine them, 1 week that, the next week this one, it's okay, because here we have some little parts of oils. That's why I said don't do it too often. The best way is quarantining, like I say, 4 to 6, 8 weeks. Have a look on it. You can remove the most parasites, and against the bacteria you can do a shortly 30, 60 second. It's not very harmful, but it works fantastic against them. So that's the reason why we have 2 different dips. That's how we work in our farm, and which I recommend you for your aquarium. Be careful and really don't use neurotoxins in your thing. I know everybody likes it, but I'm sorry, it's really dangerous for you and your health, and that's not worse, even other coral. Thanks, bye-bye, and have a nice Sunday.